James had always dreamed of being a pioneer, but standing in front of his prefabricated habitat on Kepler 442b, he was beginning to question his life choices. The colony recruitment poster had promised exciting opportunities and a chance to make history. What it hadn't mentioned was that he'd be the only human and the only male in a neighborhood populated entirely by Valorian settlers. The Valorians were a matriarchal species, tall and graceful, with iridescent skin that shifted colors based on their emotions. They'd been humanity's allies for 3 decades, ever since first contact, but James had never actually met one in person. Earth's colony program had assigned him to this sector without much explanation, and now he understood why the housing had been so affordable, and his first visitor arrived within an hour. "Greetings, neighbor." The Valorian woman's skin rippled with welcoming gold tones. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her 3-fingered hands clutching a container. "I am Lissa. I brought you crow bread. It is traditional." James accepted the offering cautiously. "Thank you. I'm James. I just arrived from Earth." Lissa's eyes large and violet widened with fascination. "A human male? How extraordinary. We have heard so many stories. Is it true your species can survive on almost any planet?" "Well, not any planet," James said modestly, "but we're pretty adaptable." "Remarkable." Lissa's skin shifted to curious amber. "You must tell us everything. The council will want to meet you. And Zara, next door, she studies xenobiology, and Thera is writing her thesis on human resilience. Oh, they will be so excited." Before James could respond, Lissa had activated her device, speaking rapidly in her melodic native language. Within minutes, his small habitat was surrounded by a dozen Valorian women, all eager to meet the human. The first week was overwhelming. James quickly learned that Valorian culture valued community above all else. Privacy, as humans understood it, was almost non-existent. His neighbors checked on him constantly, brought him food, offered advice on everything from climate control to soil composition for his garden plot. Anna, his mission coordinator back on Earth, laughed when he complained during their weekly video call. "You wanted adventure, James," she said, her dark eyes twinkling with amusement. "Sounds like you got it." "They're incredibly kind," James admitted, running a hand through his hair, "but they don't understand personal space. Yesterday, 3 of them reorganized my entire kitchen because they thought my system was inefficient." Anna leaned back in her chair. "The Valorians are communal by nature. To them, helping without being asked is the highest form of respect. They're probably trying to make you feel welcome." I know, James sighed. "It's just ... different." "That's why you're there," Anna reminded him gently. "Cultural exchange officer, remember? You're not just settling a new planet. You're building bridges between species. How humanity handles these first mixed colonies will shape interstellar relations for generations." James nodded slowly. Anna always had a way of putting things in perspective. She'd been his mentor since the academy, guiding him through xenanthropology courses and first contact protocols. If anyone understood the weight of his assignment, it was her. "You're right," he said. "I should try harder." "You're doing fine," Anna assured him. "Just remember they're learning about us as much as you're learning about them. Be patient. Be yourself. That's all anyone can ask." The breakthrough came during the first major storm. Kepler-44 to be single quotes, as weather patterns were fierce and unpredictable. When the alert sirens wailed, James sealed his habitat according to protocol and settled in to wait it out. He assumed his neighbors would do the same. He was wrong. Through his reinforced windows, James saw the Valorian women moving between habitat, checking on each other, reinforcing shared structures, working together to secure their community. And he noticed something else. Several of their habitats showed warning indicators. Technical failures, structural weaknesses. James made a decision. Sealing his emergency suit, he stepped into the howling wind. The storm battered him immediately, but human engineering had designed the suit for worse. He made his way to the nearest failing habitat. Lissa's. Her structural supports were buckling. The Valorian emergency protocols emphasized evacuation, but James knew human engineering. He'd spent summers on Earth's Arctic stations, where failure meant death. His hands moved on instinct, recalibrating support beams, rerouting power systems, applying emergency sealant. 1 habitat became 2, then 3. James worked through the storm, applying human problem-solving to Valorian technology, finding solutions that bridged both approaches. When the storm finally broke, James found himself surrounded by grateful Valorians, their skin glowing with relieved blue tones. "You did not have to risk yourself," Lissa said softly, her voice thick with emotion. "Why would you endanger your life for us?" James was surprised by the question. Because you're my neighbors. That's what neighbors do. The Valorians exchanged glances, their skin colors rippling in complex patterns, their equivalent of silent communication. Finally Zara, the xenobiologist, stepped forward. We have studied humans extensively, she said. Your history of warfare, your territorial nature, your hierarchical structures. We assumed ... We thought you would be difficult to integrate, competitive, aggressive. James laughed tiredly. We can be all those things, but we're also loyal. Once we consider someone part of our tribe, our community, we'll move mountains for them. It's one of humanity's defining traits. We pact bond with anyone and anything, even aliens. Thera asked quietly. Especially aliens, James said with a grin. On Earth, humans have been known to pact bond with robots, pet rocks, and cleaning devices that vacuum floors. You all are way more interesting than that. The laughter that followed broke the remaining tension. Colors swirled across Valorian skin. Joy, relief, friendship. 3 months later, James filed his quarterly report. His settlement had become a model for human-Valorian integration. Other colonies were implementing their innovations. Anna had been right. Patience and authenticity had made all the difference. As he finished typing, Lissa knocked on his door. James, community meal tonight. We are making both krell bread and your earth pasta. You will come? Yes. James smiled. Wouldn't miss it. Looking out at his neighborhood the blend of human and Valorian architecture, at the children of both species playing together in the courtyard, at the future being built one friendship at a time, James finally felt like he was home. Humanity had reached the stars not through conquest or superiority, but through their greatest strength, the ability to turn strangers into family, no matter how different they appeared, and that, more than any technology or weapon, would carry them to the stars.